Is anyone watching the Olympics? What seriously, what is the deal with the Olympics? Is it dead or was that more of an 80s, 70s thing?
Last Olympics, NBC killed it, absolutely killed it. And then, of course, they put it on all their different networks, the Peacock network and everything else. So now the big news for the Olympics, since you're jumping into that.
Amazing pop culture podcast.
Lindsey Vonn, do you think she really hurt herself?
She faked an ACL tear.
Well, I think she did because it sets the stage for just this huge comeback. And what are we all going to do when she skis next? We're going to be glued to the television. Now, when you watch the Olympics and you, for instance, watch the skiing, deep down, are you hoping they crash?
Or is it kind of like watching the car races?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when Lindsey Vonn, which has been rerun over and over again, crashed, was that what you're waiting to see? Are people waiting for that to happen? I mean, it builds excitement, it builds drama. Would you agree?
I don't know if I'm that nihilistic or.
Well, I think that most people, there's an added element when Lindsey now, but I think she set the stage to she's obviously a very talented skier, but if you saw the fall, to me, it didn't look like it was like that devastating, but now she's got a torn ACL, but then they show pictures of her in the gym doing squats and up and down. She can work out better than most people who don't have any torn body parts.
So let me ask you this. Do you remember Dan and Dave, the Reebok promotion? They're both decathlon.
Boy, that's going way back.
Do you remember that, Phil?
I do.
Dan and Dave. So Reebok had these two dudes, 92 Summer Olympics, and they were going back and forth and who's going to compete in the decathlon. And then it turns out the dude didn't even qualify for the Olympics.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dan O'Brien and Dave Johnson.
Did you get a chance to watch the opening ceremonies yesterday?
No, tell us about the open ceremonies.
Well, I don't think when I was watching the opening ceremonies yesterday, I don't think I've watched one like in a long time. But the coolest part of the opening ceremonies is, of course, watching the fanfare of all the athletes coming out, watching what kind of hat they have on, what kind of new trend are they starting for the winter season that everybody's going to buy that hat. But it's also lighting of the cauldron. And every Olympic has that specific way they do that. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I don't know where it was, but there was the time where the guy had the bow and arrow and he was on one knee and he shot the arrow and there was a flame on the arrow, shot it into the cauldron and the cauldron exploded. That's kind of how they kick off the games. Is that Rio de Janeiro? Okay. Pretty cool. So that's kind of like the key thing with all of these opening ceremonies. Yesterday was kind of hard to describe. It looked like a bad sci-fi movie. You didn't see it, so you're going to have to take a look at it. But they basically had a torch in the hand of one of the athletes or a past athlete. I don't even know who it is. And they raised them up on a platform. And then it looked like this bad sci-fi eyeball that was the Illuminati or something like that. And they lit it and the flame was inside kind of like these lights here. And it looked like just a little burning flame, but this giant electronic thing around it, like this molten neon thing, was actually kind of eerie. I suggest you go back and take a peek at it. It was anticlimactic for me. For a cauldron.
What do you mean by anticlimactic? You thought it should be better? You said you thought it was creepy? I guess I'm confused.
It looked like a bad sci-fi movie.
So it looked cheesy to you.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it was from the 50s, like a bad sci-fi, from Svengoolie or something like that,
Okay.
that you'd watch on a Saturday night. A little disappointing. It got rave reviews, of course, from most people that were broadcasting it. You'd expect them to say that. But I'm kind of curious as to what the general public thought about the opening of ceremonies. I thought it was really, when you watch all the athletes come in, Iceland comes in. Now, you would think Iceland would be big in the Winter Olympics, and they numbered how many athletes each country had. Like America, we had 200 and some, the most 281. Iceland, how many do you think winter athletes that came in with
2.
Iceland? You watched it. You saw it. Did you know that, or was that a guess?
It was a guess.
Okay. So I'm thinking Iceland. Oh, wow. I mean, it's all there is ice, right? They ski, they skate, and everything else. And
Was Greenland in there? We love him. We
we
love
love
Greenland.
Greenland.
We love
like it or not, we're taking it.
Oh my God.
Oh, terrific people. But we're gonna. They're
But come on,
doing.
do you really care about the Winter Olympics?
I care about the hockey.
You do.
Yeah, and I think most people
Do your Al Michaels.
would agree. Do you believe in miracles?
You got a good sister in his voice. He's got more of a.
Yeah, you put me on in the moment of time. I have to kind of build to that one.
Okay.
But like today, for instance, Team USA women's hockey is playing, and they're showing skiing instead. Which what would you rather watch? I mean, this is the Olympics. I mean, to me, the skiing they've got the skiing too, and it's not normal skiing. It's where they've got the wall, and they have to land on the wall, and then they come. I don't know what you call that type of thing, but. Anyway, the Olympics were great ratings for NBC. I'm sure there'll be great ratings for NBC because it's like the Super Bowl and NFL in general. What else are you going to do? If it's August, well, I guess they got the Summer Olympics, but I mean, you're going to end up at some stage of the 2 weeks watching the Olympics. Would you agree?
Who, me or the general public?
Both.
I think there's too much going on, and I don't understand. Like in the 70s and 80s when you were a kid, that was a big deal, the Olympics.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's a big deal, and I think it's manufactured.
I don't know. I think that
I mean, there's this tragedy going on with one of the news reporters. So, and I don't know if that helps, hurts, but there's things going on. I don't know, and they have to promote the stuff, and like the Dan and Dave, which you didn't know about.
no,
It was a huge
I
promotion.
forgot about. There's a big difference. Okay, I forgot about it. But you're going back to the 90s. Okay, I think that
Well, when was the Do You Believe in Miracles?
80.
Well, yeah. So you remember that. You remember that.
Well, I mean, that was so iconic. I mean,
Well, so was Dan and Dave.
I mean, no, Dan and Dave did nothing.
Yes.
He even said the man behind this, the
He knows,
curtain.
yes.
He knows. He even said they didn't even
He
make it
knows.
to the. They didn't even make it to the Olympics.
I said that. Yeah.
Well, you said that. One of
Yeah.
you guys said
Yeah.
that. Well, I don't know. I think that it was a different time and a place back in the 80s and the 70s. We didn't have cable television with
That's what I'm
500
saying.
options.
That's what I'm saying.
But
there's so much going on now.
I
I think it's manufactured hype, and I don't think it's as popular, but they have to make it popular.
Well, I think everything's manufactured hype. I think that the Olympics have a place. They do them every 2 years now. It used to be every 4. Do you like that aspect of it? Every 2 years they do the Olympics. Well, remember you had to wait for 4 years.
Well, it's like the dentist office. Remember, you had to go every year. Then they moved it every 6 months. It's just for more money. That's all it is.
Well, no, the cycle is still every 4
Yeah.
years, but
No,
they're
I know.
alternating the cycle.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's just like football. The mini camps and everything. They had everything. They have to keep cranking it up so you don't forget about it.
I don't know if the NFL has to do anything, man. They are just they dominate every way, shape, or form. But I'm convinced, though, if you took the NFL and you ran them the start of their season, April through September, they wouldn't have the ratings that they have. I mean, what are you going to do in November, December, January anyway, especially in Minnesota? You're going to watch football, correct? Yes? No? Well, I think the ratings are good because of the time of the year. And NBC has the conundrum. Not only do they have the Olympics, which is huge ratings for them, and Sunday nights are huge television nights. They also have the Super Bowl, so they have to balance the Olympics with the Super Bowl on one of the biggest rating nights that they have.
But who's watching television?
Super Bowl?
You
Lot
said
of-
television Sunday nights. Is there even nights anymore? Because everything's on a 24-hour cycle.
Well, when it comes to NFL football, Sunday Night Football is the top #1 show all 17 weeks that it's on. So people are watching football, no doubt. But the Olympics too, what's the time difference with Milan Cortina? I mean, that stuff is happening before we even get up. And then if we really wanted to ruin it, we could look at it before it's even on prime time. So it's got to be 6-hour difference. I think there's a time and a purpose for the Olympics. It brings the world together in a peaceful time, which is much necessary.
Okay, let me explain. That reminds me of 1980. The Soviets invade Afghanistan.
Mhm.
Do you think the hockey game was the Russians threw it, lost on purpose so people would forget about the invasion of Afghanistan.
It's
Do you think that team could have actually beaten that seasoned machine
it's
that
fun.
is the Russian
Yeah,
Soviet?
it's funny because this day and age, nothing can just happen anymore. Everything's a conspiracy. And I know you're going way back to 1980, but you got to remember the Americans played the Russians before the Olympics actually happened. Herb Brooks did that deliberately because he wanted to get the butterflies out of their system, and the Russians killed them. I forget what the score is. Maybe the man behind the curtain over there knows what it is or can research it.
7 hours.
7.
The
Well,
time delay from Italy.
Time delay. No, I'm saying
That was a time delay right there.
7 hours.
Him saying that was a delay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so this notion where the
What do you have here? Do you have any alcohol, or maybe you should?
I wish
start
I
drinking
did.
some.
I wish
Yeah.
I did
Yeah, I
have some
know.
alcohol. The beauty about this is it sounds like
Yeah.
I'm opening up a beer. Is
Yes,
that okay?
yeah.
Excuse me, please.
Yes.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You're
Anyway.
saying how the Russian team destroyed the Soviets. I'm sorry. I use those two phrases interchangeably. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay.
All is welcome here.
The Soviets easily defeated the ragtag.
In an exhibition game.
Yes.
I think a big contributing factor to the reason why the Team USA won that game was, number one, probably the biggest factor. Herb Brooks was a good coach. There's no doubt. He didn't want the best talent, but he wanted all the people that would play together the best, was what he would always say. And he was able to find that. But it was also in Lake Placid, New York. So it was a home game, basically. It was just like, there probably wasn't one Russian fan in the entire arena. USA, USA. So when
It's
you
like the bubble hockey game, right?
exactly. So when you play under those circumstances, that jacks you,
So you're saying they looked up at the lights, kind of like Ivan Drago?
I
They were
must
just stunned.
break you. But it was kind of like when Rocky did fight Ivan Drago, and they made him come to Russia the second time because they said, "You must come here." The whole crowd was cheering for Ivan Drago, remember? And Rocky was, didn't exactly know what to do. But then by the time it was over, they started cheering for Rocky. Do you remember that?
If we can get along,
you can get along.
So did they actually beat the Soviets?
This conspiracy stuff. Did we land on the moon? Did we beat the Russians?
No, don't get off topic. I'm asking you a question.
Of course we beat the Russians. My goodness, do you believe in miracles? The thing that I find funny is, if you've been following along the Olympics, every country gets awarded the Olympics well ahead of the year that it's going to happen. I think it's like 6 years, roughly.
What do you mean?
Well, when you're awarded the Olympics, it's always for future games.
Oh, you're saying who's going to host it?
Yeah, who's going to host it? Yeah.
Okay.
And Milano Cortina was awarded the Olympics. I'm sure
Why do
probably
you pronounce it like that?
because it's why shouldn't I? It just sounds like really cool. Like I know what I'm talking about.
All right.
I sound cultured. Milano Cortina.
It doesn't sound Italian. Okay, go ahead.
But the funny part about this is, it must have been a bunch of guys that were building the arena because it wasn't done. I mean, the hockey arena where the women and the men are going to play hockey, they were very fearful that they couldn't have the games because of the fact the hockey arena getting down to the very end was unfinished. How do you get awarded the Olympics 6 years ago and you can't get that done well ahead of time? It went to the bitter, bitter end. And eventually, I think they brought in the townspeoples and everybody had to help. But eventually it did happen. But I was just shocked that they couldn't get the arena done.
So as far as the arenas, the local joints they have are not set up for it. They just can't host it. They can't hold the amount of people. They don't look good enough.
Well, I think there's some rules and regulations. If you host it, you have to bring state-of-the-art facilities for everything, because these are athletes that train and are high-end. And you don't, for instance, the ice, these are NHLers that are coming in, but whether it's an NHL or a college player, you have to have the ice at a very specific temperature. If you don't, and it's too soft, what happens is they can tear their ACLs like Lindsey Vonn did, allegedly. And it's very dangerous to play in circumstances like that. So yeah, you can't throw them in these second-rate venues because this is the Olympics.
What do you think corruption, how does that factor in? 'Cause there's so much money. What year was that? Was it Salt Lake City when they had all the corruption going on with the Olympics?
I don't.
Yeah, I know
I
you don't.
plead the fifth. Corruption.
So as far as money, how do you think that affects everything?
Well, I mean, there's a great deal of money throughout, there's no doubt. But I mean, I think in terms of, is it used for purposefulness? Absolutely. I think who gets the contracts that might be affected, but I don't know. There hasn't been any real deep dive into any alleged mismanagement of the funds. I
I'm
think,
not saying specifically or this time. I'm just saying in general. You're saying they have 6 years. So are they procrastinating? Where's the money going? Why wasn't the money going to build that? Are people skimming off the top?
well, I mean, like I said, I've never firsthand seen any news articles that have suggested that. I know, let's take it to a smaller scale. I know there's a thing in Minnesota called Hockey Day Minnesota. Are you familiar with that? That's where Fox Sports will set up an entire day of outdoor hockey for whichever community also bids for it. It's almost like a mini Olympics. White Bear Lake hosted this event 2-3 years ago, and they won it. They won the approval to have it. Well, what a thing to win, because with it comes a price tag of about $2 million. So the town has to somehow fundraise and generate $2 million for Hockey Day Minnesota. So when you're trying to get that money to make sure that this thing goes without any issues, it's very difficult, number one, to get the money. And then once you have it, to not use it for what you need it for. So I'd be shocked if there's much mismanagement, or, I mean, is some being maybe, possibly, but it's never been that big of an issue, I don't think. I mean, it's never been called out.
So why couldn't they get it done? Then what are you saying?
I don't know. That's
Right.
what shocks me. That's like, we always talk about the Tootsie Roll Pop. How many licks does it take to get the center? The world may never know. We may never know why they were unable to get the arena done. So I want to pivot here, Dags, because do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Reacher? Have you ever watched that?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of I had my little notes here. Is it
Alan Rickman?
yeah, Rich. Yes. Do you like that? Do you like Reacher?
I'm not a fan,
Okay.
but it's popular.
Do you like Netflix bringing out these huge blockbusters and only releasing them on Netflix? Or would you rather do that, or would you rather go to the movie theater?
You know, it's funny you said that because I've talked about the movie theater experience is so much more immersive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to talk about the negatives. I'll talk about the positives first. But you're on the big screen. You have a sound system that you'll never match
Mm-hmm.
ever at home, no matter what. You have a screen that's 10 times bigger than any screen in the home.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed, the theater is designed to watch the film.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the phone. You're not picking up your phone every 5 minutes and getting distracted. You don't have, someone yapping at you, someone calling, pets, kids, whatever. So I prefer to watch a movie in the movie theater for the ultimate experience. That being said, now you have people, it's like Escape from New York now. I don't know if you've gone to a movie theater lately. You just have these weird people hanging out, and everyone brings blankets now. I don't know where the blankets came from, but everyone like sets up shop and they go to the dollar store and just have all these stacks, and there's just this huge thing, and everyone's talking and yapping during the movie theater. I remember one time I went to a movie during the week because I wanted to just be alone, and I got the seat right in the middle of the movie theater, and sure enough, 2 dudes were sitting right there. I'm like, "Oh, so where are you guys? Did you guys buy tickets for here?" Well, I go, "Yeah, where are you guys sitting? Let me see you." You know, they got up, this huge movie theater, they get up and they move one over. I go, "Why don't you guys sit where you're supposed to?" You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was almost a Jack Reacher moment right there.
It's kind of like when you're in a parking lot and you're all by yourself and you want to be, and all of a sudden one person will just pull up alongside.
Yes.
You're just like, dude, you had
100%.
100 other spots.
Yes.
But
So I do prefer watching them in the movie theater, but it's so much easier at home. Yeah.
So when you say, what was the last movie you actually saw at the movie theater?
It's a good question. I'd have to think about it. Go ahead,
Yeah,
though.
well, because if I'm not mistaken, it was Godzilla. I think did I see that?
Me and you watched
Yeah,
Godzilla.
I think that was the last time I was at a movie theater. Was Godzilla?
No, there was no.
Something else.
I've watched movies since then.
You have, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree with everything you said about the movie theater, but everybody's getting so lazy now. We want to do everything from our chair. We have our food ordered. We have our groceries ordered. Uber picks us up. We start our cars with a remote. We never leave our chair. And so now to go to a movie, it's actually an effort. And I think COVID really had a huge impact on movie theaters.
COVID had an effect on everything.
But movies more so. But what I'm getting at was there's a great new movie coming out on Netflix.
Quick pause before the next bombshell. Loving this pop culture breakdown? Smash that like button. Drop your wildest take in comments. We read them all. Haven't subscribed? Hit subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and follow Amazing Pop Culture Podcast on social media for exclusive tea. Now, back to the drama.
And it's called War Machine. Have you followed that at all?
I watched the preview.
When I saw that trailer, I'm like, oh, wow. There's very few movies when I watch the trailer that I say, oh, dang, I want to go see that one. Godzilla being one of them. Rocky being one of them. And I'll never forget when I was a young kid, too, by the way, reminded me of the movie theater. When Rocky 1 came out, I actually hid in the movie theater after the movie, popped out again when the next production of it was. All day long, I watched Rocky in the movie theater.
The original Rocky.
I remember that as if it was yesterday. So with War Machine coming out, you saw the trailer.
I did.
It looked like it was this huge Hollywood blockbuster. I thought coming to a theater July 4th. It looked like the 4th of July blockbuster. Then it said it's going to be on Netflix. And is there a disappointment like, oh, well, it's not going to be quite that good because it's only reserved for Netflix? Do you see that, or you think it doesn't matter which platform, it still can be good?
It doesn't matter at this point.
Doesn't matter?
No.
Does that movie look good to you?
What did you think?
To me, it kind of started out like it was going to be a modern day Predator, I thought.
It is Predator. They're hunting us. It's hunting us.
Exactly.
It's just this bad robot. You love robots, so.
I love robots.
Yeah, I think it looks terrible, but
it reminded me of a Predator / War of the Worlds type thing.
Yes,
and I love that. I love that sci-fi stuff, though. You know, look like this little cool robot back here.
Don't mess with my robot.
Oh,
No,
can I can't touch him?
No.
Does he have a name? Oh, he's the light.
Yes.
He's the light of the world. Okay. So to me, it intrigued me because I am big into the robots. I'm big into sci-fi. I like him as an actor. I love him in Reacher. He's not one of our greatest actors of all times, but he's well worth the admission. You know, I think so. I probably will. I don't even have Netflix anymore. I give it up. I probably will get it back unless I can get your password.
Yeah. It's like, does anyone really have Netflix? Well, everyone's password.
No, they've clamped down on you can't password share anymore. That's one of the reasons my daughters wanted Netflix. Well, one was up here in this state, one was in this state. Well, then pretty soon they said, no, only one address can be used. So they're like, Dad, get rid of it. Because I wasn't watching it anymore. But now they've really stepped up their game, kind of like this podcast with this awesome set here.
Netflix is huge. So, and it's only getting bigger, yeah. Because remember when they bottomed out and then they came back strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember back in the day when you could get the disc in the mail if you wanted for 3 days, or and it was like
AOL online.
And wasn't it like $1, and then all of a sudden it went up and up and up and up. Now I don't even know what Netflix is anymore, but I will.
Well, that's the thing with auto pay. You talk about lazy.
Yeah.
People never cancel their auto pay.
Well,
they make it difficult to unenroll on auto pay too. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like emails. When you get all those emails, it'll be, this huge 800-point font, everything, and then in the very bottom, in like a gray on white font, it says unsubscribe.
Yeah,
get out of the emails
to navigate that. It says cancel anytime. Yes. And it takes you forever to navigate through the system, and it kicks you back. Yeah, that's
and to get paid back, like they auto pay out of your bank every month, but if you want to get a refund,
it's like 6 months.
Yeah, up to 2 years for a refund.
Below 6 to 8 months for that. Yeah, but War Machine, I'm jumping back. Looks good. Other than that, I don't know in the movies that much what's really happening. I don't know if anything intrigues you. Is there any good?
I'm looking forward to Doomsday. Did you watch any of the?
I did not.
The Avengers movies.
No, I did. No.
So they're gonna Did you see any of the Avengers
Oh, of
movies?
course I did. Yeah, it was the same.
So what they're going to do is they're bringing back they have these mini clips of the X-Men is coming back, Captain America, Fantastic Four, and they're showing you these little teaser trailers, and they're going to bring it all together. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, see, I grew very weary of it. It was always the same plot, same doomsday at the end, doomsday, and then at the end, it was the same formula for everything. It just never really.
Yeah, but you don't know anything about comic books, so it's not the same. For you, it'd be like some hockey movie. Would be.
Well, I don't. I mean, to be entertained, I think if you can entertain the general masses.
Well, you talk about formula. You tell me Rocky movies are not the same thing over and over.
Well, Rocky
still
was
like-
based on a true story, so that's it's based on a true story,
Yeah.
and when they say that, it can be very loosely based. Like, for instance, the guy's name can be used, and that's basically makes it a true story. But Rocky Balboa or Sylvester
And why did he have
Stallone-
a Spanish name when he was Italian?
Who?
Balboa.
Balboa?
Yeah,
You're saying that's Spanish?
it is.
Usually with a vowel at the end, it's always Italian.
Yeah,
Balboa.
Picasso.
Picasso?
Spanish.
I don't know. I disagree. I want
Trevino. Lee
to.
Trevino.
So Balboa is not Spanish.
It is Spanish.
I will argue the fact.
Okay,
Well, whatever.
look it up, Philip.
Damn.
Yeah,
Philip's
you don't know about the famous explorer Balboa.
Balboa. Is it a Spanish name?
Wow.
So Stallone,
Mm-hmm. Spanish Stallone again.
yes,
Yes.
Copland.
Mhm.
What did you think of that movie?
Well, I watched it years and years ago, and I try to refresh my memory because I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. To me, it was a really slow burn the second time I watched it. I watched that. How old is that movie? From the 80s, probably?
No, later.
Is it later?
So much talent in that movie.
Yeah. What did you used to say when there was a lot of very ensemble?
Yeah,
That Western movie.
star-studded.
Star-studded. Yes.
De Niro,
Yes.
Stallone,
Yes.
Ray Liotta,
Yes.
all those good Italian actors.
Yeah.
Why didn't you like the movie?
That's a great question. I don't say I don't like it, but I didn't. He doesn't. It starts off very slow, as you know, and I guess maybe with age I have a tendency to. But the ADHD kicks in, and it's like, okay, let's get on to the next thing. Just because I like Sylvester Stallone doesn't mean I have to like everything he does. Because you don't like Tulsa King, so I'm going to bring that back up to you.
Yes.
You do or you don't?
No.
See, Tulsa King is fast moving and it's on the edge of your seat and you can't wait for the next episode. Sometimes I get like, when it's over, I'm like, oh man, I didn't want that to be over yet. That's why I love waiting for like any series. I like to watch them, binge them, because you know how, especially if they're really good, because if you don't binge them, you have to wait till the next week, when you binge, you can find out immediately and jump right into it. Does that make sense to you? So you watch 10 of them and it keeps moving. And Tulsa King is done very well. You're on the edge of the seat. It's fast paced. I love it. And I think maybe I'm comparing that to his older work, which is Copland. And therefore I'm comparing, maybe it's an unfair comparison, but it doesn't.
So you like Stallone when he's just Stallone, a caricature, like Al Pacino when he's, oh, Al Pacino, when he's not acting anymore. Like Stallone in Copland was actually acting. He put on 40 pounds. He was overweight. He was slow. That to me is acting. Tulsa Kings.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is just some TV show crap they put together. Like, it's so unbelievable. Like, what is he, like 90 years old now and he's supposed to be a tough guy? I mean, that just doesn't track for me. But Copland, he was a sheriff and he's dealing with these crooked cops. And to me, when he comes in, De Niro's eating a sandwich. You blew it. You blew it. I'm just wondering, maybe you could help me. That to me, that's acting, and it's such a difference from Stallone, because usually Stallone, he's Stallone all the time, but in this one, he was a character. He did a great job, and then how he had his redemption arc, where they shot and he lost his hearing, and all you heard was this. He couldn't hear anything, and he's just shooting everyone. To me, that was great. And there's so much stuff going on there. There's so many great actors in that, and it was just that cop talk and the Italian talk and New York. I love that movie.
Well, the beginning, exactly what you described is typically Sylvester Stallone doesn't get a lot of credit for the impact he's had in Hollywood. I think the guy is a genius. The character that he portrayed in Copland is the stereotypical version of who they think Sylvester Stallone really is. Dumb and slow and not really that good of an actor, but he's completely different. The guy, I think, is brilliant. He's a genius. He will go down. A lot of times, people that have done great things aren't really, they don't realize it. The people, the general public, don't realize till they're long gone and dead. Like a president or a painter or somebody, they'll say, wow, that guy did have an impact. I think that'll happen with Sylvester Stallone. But the actual character, to me, is what most people view him as the course of his life, as a bad actor, cheesy, but he's he's nothing like that at all.
What's your favorite Stallone movie?
I mean, you have to go back for me to the Rocky franchise. To me, they had 7 of them total, and you could just keep going with it because it's his life story. And you always see people that when actors die, they're crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? My gosh, they had that much impact in their lives. I could see myself almost maybe if Sylvester Stallone, when he dies, actually being that guy crying, I'd be throw in the damn towel. Oh, Sylvester. Cause I don't know. There's a connection with him for some reason. But the Rocky franchise, I never get sick of them. And there's been 7 of them. It's telling his life story, and it picks up from where the other one left off, where Paulie's dead, his wife is dead, but it shows you as if he's an old friend, what he's up to. And I'm moved by that. And I think that is really compelling. And that is why Sylvester Stallone does such a good job writing that stuff, because he acts like you and him are connected and you're just old friends following the story.
What was your favorite Rocky movie?
Well, I mean, definitely to kick it all off, Rocky 1 kind of set the tone. I would say definitely Rocky 1. The soundtrack of the Rocky, running and dun 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 dun. I forget the name of it, and Conte or Bill Conte or whoever wrote that stuff. I mean, a soundtrack can do so much for a movie. Okay, look at Forrest Gump, for instance. Look at the soundtrack in Forrest Gump.
What if Stallone did Forrest Gump? Do you think that would have worked?
I don't think so, but it could have. But soundtracks compiled with good acting and a good story, it's hard to beat that. Forrest Gump had the great soundtrack. Sylvester Stallone has a good soundtrack. There's the '80s kid who was a wrestler. The soundtrack for the '80s tunes.
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest. Thank you. Was the movie that good, or was it the fact that the movie was good but the soundtrack made it better?
Madonna.
That's where she got her start, was that movie. I'm crazy for you.
At Close Range was another great Madonna song.
Yeah. And I think Sean Penn and her were dating at the time, and that's why they have the connection.
Very emotional.
Yeah. But I think Rocky 1 would be my favorite. I could do them in order. I'd say Rocky 1, probably Rocky 2.
Rocky 2?
That
really?
That was the rematch with Creed.
Oh my God.
And then the one when Tommy Gunn, I think that was Rocky 5.
Oh my God, you're passing up Clubber Lang?
Ivan
Drago?
Yeah, no, I'm going in order. Rocky 1.
Which one do you like the best?
Rocky 1, there's no doubt. I mean, that kicks off the franchise.
What's number 2?
Again, like I said earlier, it just kind of flows so nicely. You pick up the story as to where he left off. I liked all of them. 1 being my favorite. I'm going to give you my favorite, my least. My favorite was Rocky 1. My least favorite was, I believe, 5 with Tommy Gunn. I thought he did a horrible job acting, Tommy Gunn. I loved the story. Rocky was down and out. He was training this kid, grooming him to be a champ. Of course, this Don King lookalike takes him, turns away from Rocky, ends up fighting, and then it builds up to the end where they end up doing a street fight.
He's a street fighter.
He's a street fighter, and that's what the Don King lookalike says. And they end up doing the fight in the street. But that one was probably my least favorite. Was Rocky? I believe that was 5. And then the older ones, Creed. I thought those were done really well too. You know, what would your favorite be? The Rockies.
Rocky 4.
Okay, that'd be Ivan Drago.
Yes.
I must break you.
Yeah. Talk about a soundtrack.
If he dies,
There's no easy way out, man.
if he dies, he
Yes.
dies. Yes.
Yes. And the I can't even say the word, the juxtaposition of Rocky's old school training versus
Yeah.
Drago's
Yeah.
high tech training.
Yep, he'd run in the snow, and
Yeah.
then they had the
montage.
Russian. They were trying to follow him in their,
Yeah, in the
in their
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yeah, they just
He
couldn't keep up.
took off.
Yeah.
And he's on them all like, whoa! You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
But so it's weird. It was filmed it's supposed to be in Russia, right?
right.
So why are they driving a car that doesn't drive in Russia?
It's a
You know what I mean?
valid
You think they would have had a vehicle because that's where they're from that would be able to chase him in the snow.
Come on, it's a movie.
Yeah.
All right, you know. And why would the entire audience be cheering for Rocky in
Yeah.
Russia at the end? It's
Yes.
just not going to happen, you
Yes.
know. But yeah, you think they would have had at least a 4-wheel drive vehicle or something. But I guess Rocky was supposed to do what he was told and stick to the road.
Yeah, he got off
he's
the
not,
road,
He's not
yes.
supposed to veer
Yeah.
off. You know. And then he had the big log.
He's like Jesus on the
very
cross.
very similar to Vision Quest when the Shoots, that was his name, the main wrestler. He had a big log and he's walking up the stadium steps, and the kid,
He was being crucified. Yeah,
he was walking up, you know, and there's the Shoot, you know.
yeah.
I wonder if they didn't steal that from Rocky, because Rocky would have come out first, you know. But very inspirational.
Well, if you talk about stealing, you look at Arnold, Predator versus Rambo. Rambo, he was in mud, full mud.
Yeah.
Camo, and then
Yeah.
Predator, Arnold was in full mud.
Yeah.
So those guys went back and forth. Remember, Rambo had a knife,
Yeah.
and then Dutch had a bigger knife than Predator.
Yeah, and those are small little snippets though, but the movie line, not even close. So I mean, I'd look more at the overall body of the work versus 1 or 2 little snippets.
No,
So-
you're just talking about Vision Quest. Who copied what? That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
what you're saying. But in terms of inspirational, Vision Quest, Rocky, they all rank up there, you know. Going to the gym, just
Revenge of the Nerds, for me, it was very inspirational.
Okay, yeah, I could say you relate to that.
Hmm.
Not that didn't do much for me, but that
No.
was, you know,
Oh my God.
yeah.
One of the best movies ever.
Why?
All the characters? Come on.
Yeah. Did it inspire you in any fashion?
No, it was a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie.
Okay, we need a laugh track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Sylvester Stallone is carrying on his tradition with Tulsa King, and I just love Tulsa King. So I encourage you to watch it. Landman, I don't know if you watch any of that too. Another great Paramount Plus tune or show. There's good stuff out there. I mean, we talked earlier about the movie theaters. There's so many gripping I mean, Yellowstone. That's off the air now, but there's going to be some there's his son Kelsey has started his own little spinoff. There's no reason to go to a movie theater anymore because, like I said, is it we're getting lazy or just there's no material anymore to worthy of spending? I mean,
Yeah,
a
but-
movie's not cheap
But
anymore.
we're talking about a film, watching a film, the way the director designed it on the big screen. So originally, directors designed their film to be watched on the big screen, and now if it's just on a TV, to me, it's just throwaway crap. You know, they don't put as much thought into it. The cinematography.
I'm
So
thinking,
that's the difference. When you see a movie in the movie theater, you know, 2001 Space Odyssey, Lawrence of Arabia, even Star Wars, you see it on the big screen, the opening scene, you know, when the credits went off into space, and
Mhm.
you're not going to get that effect on a TV.
yeah, no,
So that's why I
yeah.
like watching movies in the movie theater
well, I mean,
versus a TV series, you know.
yeah. I agree with you, but it is time consuming. It's expensive, but it is definitely an experience to go to the movie theater, no doubt.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, and I know those days are over, but I just think it's better.
are they
A
over
better
or not?
experience.
But let me ask you this though: are the days of an actor over?
Well, then we get into AI.
Well, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Pretty soon, are we going to need to pay these high-paid Hollywood celebrities a lot of money to do some blockbuster when we can just create
Yeah,
some-
everything.
everything?
Yeah.
When is
music,
that? When
art,
is that going to happen? I'm amazed it hasn't.
sooner than later.
But still, will they have to have people? Will they use actors' voices like they do when they do not a cartoon, but what do you
Voiceovers.
no voiceovers? But when they do like a Disney movie, they pay these high actors to come in to be the voice of a mermaid or
voice
something like that.
actors,
Yeah, voice actors.
Yeah.
Will AI?
Well, they can already do that now.
Well, they can make the voice, but will they, to give it more credibility?
What's the credibility though? If that actor, I mean, if they don't even make anything anymore, like now you can sample too. All you have to do is hear a couple words from Stallone and you could have a whole voice actor of Stallone.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that his voice would be like copyrighted. So if you're going to have to pay him, I would imagine they can't just
Well,
take
I
his
mean,
voice.
like what? Yeah, you're right. Eventually, we won't need actors, so it'll be a totally made up. Like there's AI bands now where it's totally made up, so they'll make an AI actor.
Right, and I'm wondering when that is going to
Yeah.
come down the pipeline.
And that's what I'm
because,
saying, sooner than later. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know, 5, 10 years, 2 years.
but you know how there's the experience of going to the movie theater.
Yes.
Is the fan, do they want the experience of reading about their favorite actor or actress, following on Twitter, following them on Instagram, reading the glorious stories that Hollywood provides, and then eventually go to the movie? Does that set everything up for them? Would they fall in love with a character? Are they falling in love with a person, or when it comes to AI, would they fall in love just with the character? Is there the buildup?
Yeah.
Would
That's a good point. Now with a lot of these bands like K-pop, where they market the whole thing, it was kind of like Kiss, where they have trading cards and they have each person as their own. But if you could build that thing all digitally, because if you really think about an actor, that's just a made up thing they're doing. That's not really them anyway.
Well,
Like you're saying, Stallone is dumb. Like his Rocky character is dumb,
mhm.
but that's not really Stallone. So they could just build the whole character, and everything would be digitized. You'd have him behind the scenes. You'd have fan groups and
Yeah, but I didn't say Sylvester was dumb. I said he's perceived to be dumb. And the character Copland,
the character is dumb. Yeah.
the character,
It's Stallone.
but that's brilliant
In
because he's
Rocky.
right. But the guy is actually a
Yeah.
genius. But yeah, so I mean, AI is that with movie theaters not being able to, nobody going to the movie theaters anymore, and the budget's down. Why do we need to pay? Like I'm going way back. A Christmas Story was released in the movie theater back in 1984. Did horrible, and it actually got re-released on television and did very well. So that takes away the myth of actually going to the theater for the theater experience, because A Christmas Story lives today because of TV and not the theater. It's the same thing too. And I'm going back to older movies. It's a Wonderful Life was a horrible bomb at the movie theater, but then it was released on TBS and everything else for Christmas Day, and NBC did it over the years. Television is what kept that alive, not the movie theater. So there is that aspect, the dynamic of, does it have, just because it's a success or not a success? If it's not a success at the theater, doesn't mean it's a complete failure, because then there's been other doors opened up through television for some of these movies. So, but anyway, if it fails at the movie theater and you've paid all these actors top dollars, well, with AI, you eliminate the salaries.
Correct.
And therefore, you don't maybe have to charge $20 for a ticket. They probably still will. So it opens up a lot of opportunity for Hollywood to do it a lot cheaper. And do we even need Hollywood anymore? Could it be done in a room this size for the most part? I can probably do this podcast with an artificial intelligent person. I can just
Well, I was thinking
ask you to
after this episode, I'm probably going to go 100% AI.
just get a blow up doll in
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and then just get it to, or
Yeah.
he can be the hand behind me. Rap, 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 rap.
All right, we're done.
We're officially over.
Yes, we're done.